Well, Alex, I know we've got to get you out of here soon. Obviously, I've got a plethora of more topics, and we'll love to have you back on later on in the season and off season again. But we do have the new college football playoffs, and then obviously the conference realignment. So I kind of wanted you to talk more quickly about this, the what it means for the new college football playoffs, what that means for the new conference realignment, and then quickly after that, who has the most to gain from the new conference realignment, and then who has the most to lose from that conference realignment.
Certainly. Certainly. So obviously the Big Ten and the SEC are probably going to be the big winners. Um, they are the conferences that bring in the most TV revenue, that conferences that bring in the most money, that have the most prestigious schools for college football. I think when it comes to conference realignment, people are going to be aiming for Big Ten SEC. But if you can't go there, then you're probably going to go to the Big 12, which is why I think Big 12 is another winner in this situation. Um, you let's take the Florida State Clemson situation for a second. Florida State and Clemson won out of the ACC. They're doing their best. They're suing the ACC. They're actively actively just talking crap about the SEC, or not the SEC, the ACC. My apologies, and have openly expressed interest about joining any conference. But I saw I saw one fan on a message board that was just like, just go to the Sun Belt, and everybody was like, what the hell are you talking about? But I did see one fan that was like, we'll just go to the Sun Belt conference and like rule that conference and like bring G5, bring all the G5 programs up because we'll be a G5 program. Like, what are you talking about? And I don't know. But the main conference that I saw for Florida State and Clemson, because they got rejected by the SEC, if I remember right, was the Big 12. And I think the Big 12 will definitely benefit from the chaos of conference realignment because of the position that Brett Yormark has put this conference in. Um, I think we're going to see it once the ACC crumbles because I think they're going to be a big loser in all of this. I mean, they're hanging on by a thread right now because of all the lawsuits against them because they're not getting the TV deals that the Big 12 is getting. They're not getting the sponsorship deals. We're going into private equity talks, and overall, we're going to see the commercialization of college football. And I think Brett Yormark understands that more than anybody. And I think the commissioners of the SEC and Big Ten understand that more than anybody and are actively pushing it. So, what we're going to see are kind of the emergence of conferences A, B, and C. And it's going to be more or less similar to, the AFC, NFC situation in the NFL, with that third conference being kind of that dark horse contender, that could make noise. Uh, and I think this year's college football playoff will be extremely important in proving that. I think the Big 12 has a lot on the line to prove, and if they don't do well in the college football playoff, then that could definitely hurt their chances. But if they do well, I say look out because this is going to be a conference that is going to be here to stay. Uh, for SEC and Big Ten, like you said earlier, the rich get richer, and that's exactly what's going to happen. You've got schools that are already in the Big Ten and SEC that hold their weight, and then you got schools like Vanderbilt who don't. And I think that's going to be another loser of this situation are schools like Vanderbilt, Northwestern, Rutgers, schools that can't keep up with the Joneses and are going to end up falling out of contention and probably falling to a group of five. Um, which is why I'm kind of like, does the group of five lose in all of this? Maybe, but they could also gain from it as well from picking up the pieces of those conference realignment those conference realignment moves. Because I mean, Duke, they're good at basketball, which again is another thing. Is basketball might play a factor, it may not. But schools like Duke, schools like Wake Forest, and I think Wake Forest is honestly a better example. They could make that move to Group Five and be very, very successful, and bring in, kind of those markets. But I guess, I guess what I'm saying is the rich are going to get richer, but the Big 12 is kind of that proactive, progressive troublemaker that's going to insert themselves into the conversation.
And
So,
the ACC has mismanaged their conference so badly that they're
The
not
ACC's
going
in
to be
trouble.
here. They're
yeah,
not. Yeah.
yeah, I
They're gonna
see
completely
many
crumble.
similarities to the Pac-12 and the ACC. Just complete ineptitude, complete unwillingness to change and do anything, change with the times, and it's going to bite them in the butt when all is said and done. So,
I would agree. I think maybe we'll still see a Power Four, maybe the ACC or the Pac-12. One of them can rebuild with whatever pieces are left over, but
right.
we'll definitely not see a Power Five conference with the new realignments. I would ask though, Alex, real quick. I know you said with the alignment that G5 may end up being a loser, even if they can pick up some of the pieces that get broken off from the P4 schools now. Could they
Mhm.
be a winner because of the college football playoffs? Because now their G5s are going to be required to be in the 12-man
Right.
playoff system, which could be extended to 16 or 18 here in the near future.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I think that all depends on how much the college football playoff committee is willing to expand. Um, I listened to the college football playoff commissioner speak on it a little bit, and he said, we don't want to leave the little guy out. We want to make sure that these schools are getting their just due, which is why we had that required Group Five at large bid. That being said, it will depend on how much the college football playoff is willing to expand. Because you can't just have the token G5 team every year. They're going to want more because, what about this G5 team that did really, really well this season? Why don't they get a chance? Um,
What
you're
about
kind
this
of going back to
other
that,
undefeated team? What about this other one loss
right.
team? Like,
Right.
There's
Which
going to
is,
be all these whataboutisms that
yeah.
come about, and it's kind of going to go back to like the BCS days. Why didn't 2008 Utah get a chance? Why didn't 2010 TCU get a chance? Why didn't UCF in 2017 get a chance?
right.
It's going to go back to that type of talk as long as there is that talk of including the little guy. So I think that's where the G5 is going to lose is that's going to just be an endless cycle of, oh, what about team A, B, and C who did really, really well, even though they had a cupcake strength of schedule. So
Yeah, I think
that's
I might be able to agree with that sentiment. The one thing I think that would be a nice caveat to this is the rule that got enacted when expanding the college football playoffs was that conference winners are not guaranteed a spot. So if over the last couple of years, we saw the number one versus the number two team in a conference who had already played, and you had your winner, then that team lost in the college football or in their conference championship. So that means that that team who won the conference championship had the automatic buy-in, which is no longer existent, which I think could be a very big help for the caveat of the G5 schools being able to play against that. Well, now we don't have the ability to get in because that ability is no longer there.
right. No, definitely. I mean, you don't want to see like a 7-5 team in the college football playoff. Like maybe they were able to beat that 12-0 team that one time, but like who's to say that they are one of the best 12 teams in in the country? Because honestly, they're probably not.
Yeah,
They just got
guaranteed.
lucky.
Cincinnati.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah, just
Uh,
yeah, I
well,
don't know.
cool, man. Uh, I appreciate the insight and you coming on. I definitely want to do this again, maybe in the middle of college football season, as we start to see the landscape unfold and get closer
My dude knows
to
his shit,
playoffs.
Ty Bob. My
Dude,
dude
I love
knows
it.
his shit.
I love it. And we
Thank you,
agree
thank you.
on most of the things, man. That's
Yeah.
not that that's a necessary requirement, but it's very good to have.
I
Where,
totally agree.
Alex, can the folks find you and learn more about you and your college football opinions?
So for college football opinions, I would definitely go to collegefootballdogs.com. They have been nothing but supportive throughout my writing career and have been awesome. They're one of the fastest growing college football media companies in the nation. We are already Maxwell Football Club partners. We are partners with the Football Writers Association of America, and we're coming onto the landscape as kind of this non-corporate media that wants to promote college football for the fans by the fans. And I think that you'll enjoy what you read, you'll enjoy what you watch, and uh, you can find more of me on there. I talk Big 12. I'm the Big 12 lead national columnist over there, and hopefully you enjoy my Big 12 musings. If you enjoy KC sports as well, I do a little bit of a passion project called the Burn KC Scorchcast. It's just my my podcast that I do weekly just by myself. Just kind of talking about my unfiltered opinion of KC sports. I get pretty angry sometimes. Have thrown a few things, but that's just I hope that kind of explains my passion that I have
You need
for
to throw
that.
more things. I think you need to kind of. It's
I
called the
do.
Scorchcast. You need to have like the little the guy from some
Inside
emotions
Out, the
Disney.
little
Yeah,
angry
the
dude.
the anger
Yeah.
guy from Inside Out. You
Yeah,
need to have
yeah.
him in like the corner of your screen and shit when you get real mad. Like
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
an
that.
idea man. Okay, I'm.
Yeah, exactly. I might need to bring you on for all $0 I can pay you. But definitely. And I also do some writing for 810 as well. So check all three of those outlets out. I'm kind of just getting started in the sports media landscape. I attended my first ever Big 12 Media Days this past year, and it's been a ride. So I appreciate all the viewership and all the support that y'all are giving me. And thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure, and I'm hoping to be back soon.
Heck yeah,
So
man. We will do this again. Um,
definitely.
that's going to wrap up this edition of the college football talk that we've got going on. Next time you hear from us, it'll be regularly scheduled programming right before the NFL season kicks off. So make sure to tune back in. And until next time, go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs!
Go Chiefs.